and solo the inbounder. Fuller with it! Russo in space. Service in. Oh, and he scores! Line drive off the glove of Zamora. Parker comes home and so will love it. Georgia Southern walks it off. Eagle Nation, welcome to another edition of the GATA Zone, your one-stop shop for a deeper look inside Georgia Southern athletics. I'm your host, Danny Waugh of GATA Productions. It's homecoming week at Georgia Southern, and volleyball is back in action this week against App State, and I'm here with head coach Chad Willis to talk about it all. Coach, welcome back to the GATA Zone. Glad
Danny,
you're with us.
Always glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, last weekend, you got 2 wins on the road at Troy. You're now 5-1 in Sun Belt Conference play, 14-3 overall on the season. What are some of the big takeaways from last weekend?
Yeah, first off, just like where we're at right now as a team, mentally and physically, certainly physically we're feeling the grind, being 17 matches in. But we've got a group that is really staying dialed into our priorities and our individual season goals. And so the opportunity to go to Troy, on the road against a West opponent that was just coming off, a big weekend against Texas State at home. They split with them, beat Texas State in 5, who was preseason picked number 1 in the West. So we knew we had our work cut out for us. But, credit goes to our team. I thought the game plan was really good. I thought we had a great week of prep and practice and rolled into Troy on Thursday night. We're able to come away with 2 big 4-set victories. And I think for us, that's a big momentum builder as we kind of hit a crucial stretch of our season here with the next 4 weekends being divisional opponents. So just continue to build off the momentum and stay dialed into who we are and what we're doing.
A very battle-tested non-conference schedule before going in the conference with matches against Georgia and even having that match against Florida State to wrap up non-conference. And you go in the conference play, you take on Old Dominion, Marshall, and recently Troy. What are some of the biggest lessons that your team has learned throughout the final portion of non-conference and in the first half of Sun Belt play?
Yeah, I think one of the things we've been talking a lot about as a group is just, the consistency has been a key word for us. Certainly, I feel like at this point in the year, we know who we are. We're a team that is really going to get after you on the defensive side of the ball, whether it be our physicality at the net, which you saw on full display this past weekend at Troy, or our PTK mentality just in our backcourt, and the way we're extending rallies and pressuring teams to find different ways to score. And so I think the non-con schedule did a good job of preparing us for Sun Belt play, just in terms of all of our goals, in terms of what we want to do in the Sun Belt being in front of us. And I've really challenged the group this week about it's just about continue to elevate that standard. I still feel like we haven't peaked quite yet as a group, and so I think that's a good sign anytime that you're in the meat of conference play and you've got a big stretch coming up. If we can find a way to really dial into that consistency these next 4 to 5 weeks, everything's in front of us, and we're excited about that.
A lot of team success, also a lot of individual success, especially coming off of this Troy wins. I mean, Kirsten Barrett named Center of the Week for the 3rd straight time, 5th overall, the most out of any Eagle in any sport. And you also had Lydia Seymour having a career performance in blocks. She was named Defensive Player of the Week. When you see that player success that also attributed to the overall team success, what does that mean for you?
Well, I think first and foremost, we are certainly proud and are going to highlight all of those individual achievements. But I think the best thing about our culture, the best thing about this team is any time we get any of those things, KB will be the first one, Lydia's the first one, whether it's Reagan, Maddie, whoever, to really attribute a lot of that success and that credit back to the team. Because we talk about that concept of mudita, that selfless joy of wanting to see others succeed. And, KB doesn't do what she's doing without quality and elite level hitters around her, certainly defenders and passers who are getting her the ball. And likewise, Lydia doesn't do what she does without a great game plan and pin blockers to set a block, or, Maddie getting digs up and giving Reagan up. Like, it all works together, and that's the beauty of a team sport. But I think it really just says a lot about this team and its identity and kind of what we have in front of us. Like, on any given night, we have people on this roster, up and down this roster, that can come out and put up those type of performances that kind of set the mark in the Sun Belt. And so if we continue to build off that and just find that consistency week in, week out, we like our shot to come away with a championship.
Well, you talk about the team, and your team identity is defense. One of the unique stats in Sun Belt play, you're holding teams below to 141 in terms of opponent hitting.
Yeah.
When you talk about that defense, that PTK mentality and leading the way, where does it really come from to start from a player perspective, but also from a team perspective, to really lead that into Sun Belt matches?
Yeah, honestly, Danny, I think that's a mindset with this group, right? right? We talk about just a relentless pursuit of the ball, and every time we go into a pre-match meeting in the locker room, it's all right. Hey, like let's play clean, but let's also handle the easy. Like make teams have to earn points, and if they have to work really hard to earn, not only is it making it difficult for them, but they're wearing themselves out. And eventually, the physicality and the balance of our team kind of swings the momentum, so to speak. But this group loves to get after it on the defense side of the ball. I think it starts with our libero and our ball control group, and Maddie and Maite extends through KB, who's digging. I mean, almost 3 balls a set as a setter, which is almost unheard of. So it just reverberates throughout our entire roster, and just really proud of the effort they're putting in on that side of the ball.
We'll talk more Sun Belt Conference play and look deeper into the schedule when we come back after the break here on the GATA Zone.
When you step into Paulson Stadium, walk through the football locker room, or stroll through the Hall of Fame, what you see is more than just space. It's a story. At Whitfield Signs, we bring those stories to life. From iconic athletic branding to elegant collegiate displays, Whitfield Signs can craft striking custom signage to help elevate your brand. Whitfield Signs, official sign provider of Georgia Southern Athletics.
As a wide receiver, it's my job to make all kinds of catches. Catch touchdowns. Catch a break. Catch a ride. What? But the best catch? Schumann Farm Sweet Onions. One big catch changes the game. One ingredient changes the dish.
The Window World family is more than just windows and doors. From our daily efforts supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to find cures and save children's lives, to our ongoing commitment to serve active military and their families and America's veterans, to honor those who fought and who served to keep this great nation safe. At Window World, great service is not only taking care of our customers, it's about serving our community. Window World of Coastal Georgia and South Carolina. Please join us.
Welcome back to the GATA Zone. Danny Waugh alongside Eagles head volleyball coach Chad Willis. Coach, you talked about these first 3 conference matches in Sun Belt play, but when you look at the standings overall, very top-heavy in the East Division. When you see that and see the competition that you have, not just so far, but also coming up, what does that speak to the strength of the league?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a testament to the Sun Belt Conference as a whole. You know, a lot of great coaches, a ton of elite level student athletes who are getting after it, and just love where our league is at right now. And for us specifically in the East, we know it's a gauntlet. And I think you're looking at the next 4 weeks of divisional play for us. We're very fortunate. We've got a really good app team who is leading the conference in RPI right now, who comes to Hanner. Then we got to go on the road and face a physical JMU team, followed by getting Coastal at home, who's leading the conference undefeated right now. So the fact that we get 2 of those 3 opponents in Hanner, I think the schedule shapes out well for us, and we all know we love being at Hanner. And then we got to cap off that divisional stretch by going to a tough, gritty Georgia State team. So I think for our group, our crew, they know what's ahead of them these next 4 weeks. We've talked about it as a group. This was one of their goals dating back to August is how are we going to handle mentally, physically this stretch of 4 divisional straight weekends. And this is where all the prep work from back in the spring to summer to everything they've done in the non-con right now has prepared them for this moment. And I couldn't be any more confident in this group to go attack it and get after it.
We just saw in the standings, Coastal unbeaten, James Madison 5-1, App State coming in Thursday, Friday, they're 4-2, along with Southern being 5-1. But you look at that remaining schedule, it is a gauntlet indeed. App State, JMU, Coastal in 3 straight weekends, then Georgia State wrapping up the East Division, and then you get that final matchup against Louisiana before going to the Sun Belt tournament in Foley. You had just said that this all goes back to the preseason and what this team has prepared for. I mean, what has that mindset been like to keep that going throughout practice, especially with the stretch coming up?
Yeah, I think, our mentality, stay the course, right? And we get it, like this time of year, it's mid-October, we're in that grind, we're physically feeling it, we're mentally feeling it, there's a little bit of homesickness, like there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, but we can't quite see it yet. So for this group, it's about like staying dialed into the priorities, staying dialed into the goals, but more importantly, leaning to each other. The more connected we can continue to stay as a group and come in every single day and be the best versions of ourselves, push each other to get out of that comfort zone a little bit, but just find a way to get 1% better, even if it's a shortened practice, it's a lighter load, whatever the case may be, find a way to get better every single day. And if we can do that, I talked about it earlier, I don't feel like this is a group that has peaked quite yet. And so still kind of challenging them in that regard of like, hey, what can we continue to do as a team to find a way to get a little bit better so that, as we go through this stretch and hopefully we hit that Louisiana weekend, we're playing for a regular season championship. All of our goals in terms of what this team wanted to do starting off the season back in August, they're right in front of us. And so how we attack this 4-week stretch, not only in the East Division, but then capping off those 2 home matches against Louisiana, we're in the driver's seat to win a Sun Belt championship and regular season championship. And that's something this program's never done.
Well, you mentioned homesickness, but it is homecoming this week, and they're going to have a lot of alumni returning. You look at last year's team that had 6 seniors that really set the foundation of this team for this year. A couple players are going to be coming back this weekend. So when you have those returning players and seeing just everything that was put together for the team this year, what does that mean, and what do you want Eagle Nation to know about this team to finish up the second half of Sun Belt play starting with App State?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, cared for, counted on. And so for us to be able to bring back these alum who really laid the foundation, all of the great thing about this group coming back, majority of them started this journey with us 7 years ago, from being an RPI 300-plus team to now competing for a Sun Belt championship and being sort of what we like to call in the volleyball world a national brand. And so all of it's been on their shoulders, and they've carried that weight. And so for them to be able to come back to Hanner, see some of the updates, see how it's now a volleyball facility, watch this team compete and get after it. I always say, any championship, any match won, we want our alumni, anybody who's been a part of this program, they are a part of that. There's a proud tradition, history, legacy that's been laid here, that's been built here on the backs of these fine people, and we want to celebrate them as we come back this weekend. But I'm just more excited for them to see the fruit of the labor that this team, everything that they've helped build and form and mold. You look at KB, who's a senior. A lot of these kids, she was a freshman, sophomore when they were on the roster, so they get to see her ball out right now and see some of the things that she's doing, how she's leading this team. We always say, your legacy is leave it better than you found it, and that's something that I think all of these alums can attest to.
Well, Coach, it's going to be an exciting weekend with App State coming in Thursday and Friday. Excited to see how the rest of Sun Belt Conference play goes. Best of luck as you make your way trying to win a Sun Belt championship.
Appreciate you. Hail Southern, GATA.
When we come back after the break, we'll have our player spotlight with senior setter Kirsten Barrett. So keep it locked here on the GATA Zone.
When you step into Paulson Stadium, walk through the football locker room, or stroll through the Hall of Fame, what you see is more than just space. It's a story. At Whitfield Signs, we bring those stories to life. From iconic athletic branding to elegant collegiate displays, Whitfield Signs can craft striking custom signage to help elevate your brand. Whitfield Signs, official sign provider of Georgia Southern Athletics.
As a wide receiver, it's my job to make all kinds of catches. Catch touchdowns. Catch a break. Catch a ride. What? But the best catch? Schumann Farm Sweet Onions. One big catch changes the game. One ingredient changes the dish.
The Window World family is more than just windows and doors. From our daily efforts supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to find cures and save children's lives, to our ongoing commitment to serve active military and their families and America's veterans, to honor those who fought and who served to keep this great nation safe. At Window World, great service is not only taking care of our customers, it's about serving our community. Window World of Coastal Georgia and South Carolina. Please join us.
Welcome back to the GATA Zone, your weekly look at a one-stop shop deeper inside Georgia Southern Athletics. Danny Waugh here, and now joined with senior setter Kirsten Barrett for our player spotlight. Kirsten, welcome to the GATA Zone.
Hey, so happy to have me here. Thank you so much.
In your senior season with Georgia Southern Volleyball and being the quarterback of this offense, as Coach Willis likes to mention, in preparation for games, what has this senior season been like for you so far?
It's been absolutely incredible so far. This team, these girls, I've been so happy to have each and every one of them, and just this big underclassmen class coming in, and just it's been so fun so far.
What has it been for you going from a freshman, having a lot of seniors before you kind of lead you, help motivate you, and now having that younger class as a senior for you, getting to learn and work with them?
Yeah, it's a unique role. I only have 2 alongside me, which is kind of unheard of. But the previous seniors really set a good foundation for us to come in there and just show us how to lead, properly, and they've left it better than they found it. So kind of filling that role in and just trying the best we can to make this program better and more elite.
You lead the Sun Belt in assists per set. You also have won the Sun Belt Setter of the Week 5 times, more than any Eagle in any sport in the Sun Belt Conference. I mean, when you look at the accolades and success that you put in on the floor, what does that mean for you?
Yeah, I'm really grateful for it, absolutely. But it does go without noticing that I need a defense behind me and I also need hitters to put the ball away. So I am forever grateful for them besides me because this is a team award more so than just an individual award to me. So.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that setter-hitter connection because you're able to divvy up the ball to numerous teammates from Reagan Barr to Sam Bowering and even having defensive players like Maite Camacho and Maddie Cagino. But when it comes to setter-hitter connection, what is that like for you in getting your players the ball in the right places?
Yeah, each hitter-setter connection is different. Some have faster tempo, some are slower, some are just taller than others, like Lydia Seymour. But each one has its uniqueness, and it's been a long way just building that bond. Like with Reagan Barth, it's been 3 years, in the workings. Where we have other hitters like Alex Myers, where it's just been 1 year, but she's immediately filling that role, and it's a quicker adjustment. So just kind of prioritizing all those times spent together for the ones that are quickly filling those roles. But it's been really fun so far. I love setting up different hitters and just different tempos and whatnot.
The defense has been there, but you're a bit of a triple threat. You could also get some setter misdirection, get some kills in there as well. What goes through your mind when you try to make those decisions in a match?
Yeah, I think it goes alongside just the game plan, kind of what our coaches have set for us, the film that we're watching throughout the week, and just what prior teams have scored against them. So, it's different for me having to fill a different role, being offensive, but I know it's going to benefit our hitters and put them in better situations. So.
Final question for you, Kirsten. As App State comes in this upcoming Thursday and Friday for Sun Belt play that continues for the rest of the year, what do you want to see from your team to make that push to a Sun Belt Conference championship? Yeah,
so like Chad has said, we have not peaked yet. So how are we getting better 1% each day? And just prioritizing those bigger opportunities that we have because everyone else is feeling it. It's mid-October now. So how are we prioritizing what we have available to us and accessible to us? So kind of what we're going into this weekend is high energy. Super excited to have our alumni back because they do mean a lot to us. And some girls, they just graduated. So kind of using that energy that Hannah's going to bring to us and just move forward with it and follow the game plan.
Well, Kirsten, Eagle Nation is proud of all the success that you've made. Excited to see what happens in the rest of the season. Best of luck against App State.
Thank you so much.
That has been our player spotlight interview with senior setter Kirsten Barrett. Georgia Southern Volleyball in action Thursday and Friday at 6 o'clock against the App State Mountaineers inside Hanner Fieldhouse. That'll do all for this week's homecoming edition of the GATA Zone for senior setter Kirsten Barrett and head coach Chad Willis. I am Danny Wall saying so long. You've been watching the GATA Zone.